What I want to talk about this morning, one of the questions I get from people time and time again is, you know, Rob, I can hit my 7-iron great, you know, but I can't hit my driver straight. And I keep on slicing the driver or pulling the driver. And there's really a very easy explanation for that. And there's 2 or 3 things that happen when we have a driver in our hands that doesn't happen when we have an iron in our hands. And one of the things is ball position. Ball position and the placement of your center of gravity. Every golf swing that you have in the bag is basically the same. From your 7-iron to your wedge to your driver, the motion is the same, but the problem we have with the driver is the ball is not in the right position. Now we all understand that we have to put the driver on a tee, and the reason we do that is because these only have about twice as much loft as your putter. So if you were to hit this off your center of gravity, the ball flight would be very, very low. So what we have to do is put it on a tee so we hit the ball up, increases the launch angle of the driver. Okay? So what we do now is we place the ball forward in our stance. One of the first problems that people have is the ball is never in the same position twice. They can't get it in the same place twice. Now, there was a study done, and a professional when he takes a stance, every stance was the same, and the amateur, in 20 stances, there wasn't 2 of the same ball position. So what we need to do is the first thing we need to do is we need to have a way to get our ball position the same. So the way we do that is very simple. Take your stance with your center of gravity or your shirt button right on the golf ball with the ball right between your toes. Now all you need to do is turn your left toe out. Okay? Now that unlocks your hips so you can make your swing turn. Then take your stance, your normal stance with your right foot. Okay? Now you're in perfect position. Your center of gravity or your shirt button is about 4 inches behind the golf ball where it should be. Okay? Now, when you swing the golf club in this manner, the bottom of your swing happens right here, and then you swing up and hit the ball off the tee. Okay? Now the problem we have is 2 things. The first thing I see amateur golfers do is this. When they set up, they move the club face up to the golf ball. That does 2 things. Number 1, my center of gravity is now closer to the ball than it should be. Okay? And number 2, my shoulder lines are aiming about 75 yards left of my target. Now, contrary to popular belief, the golf club always follows the line of your shoulders, not the lines of your feet. So if my shoulders are aiming 75 yards left, that's the path the golf club is going to take. And then, of course, subsequently you'll get the big slice or you'll get a pulled hook, depending on what your grip is like. Okay? So when you move that up to the ball, everything changes. All your geometry changes. So what I suggest is, when you take your stance, leave the golf club on your center of gravity. This is the bottom of your swing. Your golf swing will always bottom out on your center of gravity. It'll never bottom out anywhere else. Wherever your shirt button moves to is where the club is going to bottom. Now, who all hits that pop-up shot once in a while? Of course, we've all hit that dreaded pop-up shot, and the problem with that shot is our center of gravity is getting too close to the golf ball. Okay? If I take my golf swing and I move my shirt button into the golf ball this way, there's the shot you're going to hit. That's the one that puts the scar on your driver and hits it straight up in the air. Your body moving side to side. The problem we have with the driver is that the object ball is not where it's supposed to be. And during the golf swing, when we're watching the object ball, it draws our center of gravity in, okay? And if you draw it right to the ball, there's that low push slice. And if you draw it a little bit too far, there's that pop-up shot that we all hate. It's the side-to-side motion that kills the driver shot, all right? Now here's a trick that I developed, and it works very, very well. What I do is, I have my students take their stance, and then we put a decoy in the ground, something for them to look at. The decoy goes right on your shirt button, okay? Now, when you're swinging the driver on the driving range to practice this, what you need to do is when you set up, you keep your eye on the decoy and never let your cheek pass the decoy. Don't worry about the object ball. When you swing, if your cheek doesn't pass the decoy, the bottom of your swing will stay where it's supposed to be, about 4 inches behind the ball, and then you will swing up and hit the ball up and through to the target. It works every time. I've seen golf swings dramatically change simply by this one thing alone. What that does is, it stops the side-to-side motion in your golf swing. Golf swing is very simple, round and round motion, okay? When we start going side to side, we actually change where the bottom of our swing happens. And if the golf ball's not there, we're going to have a big miss, all right? So we're going to get back to the range. I want you to tee up a few shots, put a decoy in the ground, and don't even look at the object ball. Keep your eye on the decoy, have a few swings, and see what great results we get, all right? Thanks very much. go try that. Okay, so here we are on the driving range. We're going to set this driver shot up now. And where we're going to do this is we're going to set the ball on my center of gravity. Then I'm going to take my stance and I'm going to set my golf club up in the right position to make this shot work. Okay, here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my feet together, my toes together, and I'm going to put the golf ball right in between my two toes. I'm going to take my stance with turn my left toe out. I'm going to take my stance with my right foot. When I set the golf club down on my shirt button, you'll notice that the decoy is out in front of the golf ball. Now all I'm going to do is take my normal swing like I always would, but I'm not going to let my cheek pass that tee, or pass that decoy. What that's going to do is keep my center of gravity from moving toward the golf ball, and I should hit a good driver shot. Next week. Until next time, this is Rob, your golf pro from Tierra del Sol. Have a nice day.